Okay, if you love your 80s music, and let's face it, who doesn't, who do you reckon would headline the greatest gig ever? Would it be Bon Jovi or Madonna? Duran Duran, maybe In Excess? Well, that question gave music icon Ian Dicko Dixon a great idea, and he joins us now to tell us about the almost the greatest gig on earth. That's to begin with, before we get to your show and your festival, talk to us about 80s music. Who would be your all-time favourite 80s act?
Well, for me, I'm from the UK. I would have to say it would be the Smiths. Yeah. Because Morrissey had just this wonderful turn of phrase. He just talked about working class life and love affairs and twisted emotions, and he really spoke to young Dicko in quite a big way.
Wow. And what is it about 80s music, do you think, that still endures after all these years? I mean, the synthesizers are there, the hard rock. What is it about 80s music?
I think it's the showiness. I mean, in 70s music was still finding itself. You had this revolution with punk rock, which was a rebellion, and then it bounced back with post-punk, new romanticism, and the 80s, of course, absolutely turbo-driven by MTV, which took these wonderful artists and just turned them into household names. But Madonna encapsulates that, for me, that MTV era.
Yeah, I just don't want you to denigrate that 70s disco. And really,
well, we will get there. But look, this show, Almost the Greatest Gig on Earth, we had to narrow it down to a decade just to schedule it, basically. And the 80s was perfect for us because what we ended up doing is creating the perfect storm of guilty pleasure. Tribute meets the 80s, and there's nothing more guilty pleasure than 80s
and
music.
Australia was a real hotbed of talent as well in the 80s. There are still ripping bands
like
that are
Kylie.
still rocking out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The Locomotion.
Yeah.
Boom Crash Opera.
Yeah, Midnight Oil, In Excess, Divinals, like all these bands that used to play at pubs around the corner from your house. I was way too small, but I remember seeing them.
So this is all about a big show.
Huge.
Big show.
Huge.
Big grant. So you've turned promoter.
I have. Well, I saw that.
This is another string to your bow.
I saw that documentary, The Fire Festival. I thought, I want to get me some of that.
Yes.
There's got to be an easy way to get the Perrier in, of course, but...
Make the festival actually happen, though?
No, this will happen.
This will happen.
Look, do you know how this started? Me and my mates were having a few wines, and we got Spotify on, and we decided to curate, with the Spotify playlist, the greatest 80s gig ever. And we came to blows, I don't mind telling you. People stormed out. We were so passionate about it. But in the end, we went, actually, we could do this.
All right, so who's going to be on stage?
Well, do you know what? It starts with headliners. It gets followed by headliners, and you headline with a headliner. The first act of the day will be Eurythmics with Would I Lie to You? Brass section, orchestra, followed by Hall & Oates, followed by Madonna, followed by Human League.
There is a catch here, surely.
What do you mean?
Are they all tributes, or you've got some...
No, of course they're tributes. I'm talking about superstar artists that are too broken up, too up their own bums, or too dead. Yes, it's tributes. And there's nothing wrong with tribute.
Nothing.
Tribute is fun because you know what, a tribute act, you will never hear the 11 most depressing words in history, which are, we'd like to play a few songs from our new album. Play the hits! Play the hits!
That's so true.
And nobody argues about who's headlining
That's
1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah, do you know
5.
what? We've always said this in the record industry. It's a dirty little secret, but the music industry will be so much more fun without the artists. And we found a way to do it. What's not to love? Big hits, no egos. Well, mine, of course, but yeah.
Yeah, and that's all we need.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure you've been to a few concerts.
Yes,
in your time.
I've been to a few concerts.
How many years in the record business?
Yeah.
Oh, look, I worked for a long, long time. While I was doing rubbish reality TV, I kept my hand in. And I've gone...
Hey.
While I was working in some of the best TV shows ever commissioned...
On this very network.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Still
Well,
some of the best.
Look, but I've done every one. I tarted around. Come on, let's face it. But yeah, I still kept my hand in, and I've gone back to music now. I manage 4 acts, and I came up with this wonderful idea to waste a Saturday. So,
and you actually have gone and handpicked each of these tribute bands.
yeah,
These
I
are
have.
the best of the best.
And the ones that we didn't find, if we couldn't find someone good enough, I've gone back in and I've searched for hot young people. So I had to go and find my own George Michael. And because if you go into an 80s band, you want to see Wham with the Choose Life T-shirts, the little white shorts and the shuttlecock. You want a hot young Greek bloke. So I haven't found I haven't found an Andrew Ridgeley yet, but I'm losing
So
sleep
you've
over that.
turned
I
into
wouldn't-
Simon Cowell.
Yeah, I'm like a low-rent Simon Cowell.
Okay.
Yes. I'm like the discount Simon Cowell. Yeah.
Which is better.
But it's not, you know, you mention a lot of blokes, but, I mean, women, there were massive female stars
Women in the
80s.
80s, that's where women really came into their own. There were a lot of powerful women in the 80s. Madonna, Cyndi Lauper.
Belinda Carlisle.
Tina Turner, Belinda Carlisle. Kylie. We've got all of these. These are 5 massive music brands, and we have all of them in one day.
And so, and have you had to search them out as well, or did you know where you were going?
I've had to... Working on talent shows, you get to realise there's amazing singers out there who just don't have that X factor to become artists, but they've still got wonderful tonsils. And if you play a bit of dress up, with smoke and mirrors, this can look uncannily like the real thing.
It sounds like you've had a really good time, kind of
I'm having a good
unearthing new
time.
talent. So do you think something like Australian Idol could work again on TV?
I think maybe. I don't think they'd ask us judges back because we're all geriatrics. We'd have to go on with walking frames and Zimmers, you know. And
Hang on.
and adult
Okay, Marsha
nappies.
was on the other day.
Yeah.
You're both looking fine.
Oh, no, well, there's Holden.
Yeah,
now.
we'll get just rid of Holden.
No, but
Who would you be if you could play dress-ups?
me, I would... I love the idea of Elton John with those big zoom glasses and the, you know, and the shopping addiction and the grumpiness. I just love the idea of him.
The girdle.
Yeah,
he
yeah, and of
wears
course,
now.
this show is the best fun you can have with his Spanx on. It really is.
I think this show, this festival that you're doing would be a great documentary to be watching this being made. I'd like to be a fly on the wall to all
Well,
of this coming
grab
together.
your cine camera and come along. You'd be welcome.
I want to know, because obviously you, during the 80s, you were looking after big bands as well. Can you dish on some of the backstage antics of some of the wildest bands? We've seen The Dirt, the story about Motley Crue, just hit Netflix. I'm surprised they're still alive. But crazy stuff that you've come up against backstage.
Oh, look, yeah, well, when I was working at Sony, we had Mariah Carey. And we had to book her for a Saturday morning TV show.